What's up, everybody on YouTube? AJ Rez back here with another video, and today I'll be sharing my spoiler review of Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Alright guys, so like I said in the intro, this is a spoiler review, so if you haven't seen Black Panther Wakanda Forever, click off of this video, go watch it, and before watching it, go watch my reaction, just sharing my general thoughts and spoiler-free thoughts, but this is a spoiler review, so if you haven't watched it, this is your final warning. Guys, this film was so good in my opinion. I'm going to get into where I rank it in terms of, MCU Phase 4 films and just sequels in general in Marvel Studios history, but hey, I really enjoyed Wakanda Forever. Like I said in my spoiler-free review or reaction, it's up there. And seeing Namor in live action and just seeing all the side characters, have to step up basically in the absence of T'Challa passing away. Man, that was just so sad. Speaking of the absence of T'Challa, basically the movie opens right up with Shuri trying to cure T'Challa. Now, obviously, Chadwick wasn't on screen. His body wasn't on screen, of playing T'Challa because, he had passed away already before they started filming Wakanda Forever. But it basically, throughout the movie, Shuri, when she was explaining to different characters, seeing her brother suffer in silence. And that's kind of what it was with Chadwick Boseman in real life. And like I said before, it was at a point to where you felt the characters and the actors, not even acting, they were sharing their real feelings and emotions, seeing, Chadwick passing. So really the whole cast was amazing, especially Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett playing Queen Ramonda was amazing. Now, her dying in the film, after Namor and T'Challa, invaded Wakanda not early in the film, but I say the climax or the midpoint in the film, that was sad. But she also saved Riri Williams, who was Ironheart. We're going to talk about Ironheart more because she was great in my opinion. She had a, nice little swag about her. But man, Queen Ramonda, Angela Bassett as Queen Ramonda was amazing. Some people I've seen, reviews talking about that she should be nominated for an Oscar. I could see that. For example, earlier in the movie, she had to address, the United Nations and everyone involved, saying why Wakanda hasn't been sharing vibranium. You also got to see, this whole power war of how people want vibranium, and that's accurate because, if you have this highly technological asset, things that can, build weapons and, basically take over the world. Why wouldn't these nations want that? And even T'Challa said he would, share it. But, T'Challa's obviously dead, so that changes things. So you just saw Queen Ramonda, push her weight, show her clout, basically, and show that we're not sharing it because it causes so many people to do things. People are trying to steal vibranium in Wakanda, making different attacks, as you saw in the film earlier. So, yeah, but, man, Angela Bassett, she was a great and integral part of the movie. And when she passed, it was sad. I didn't think she was going to die. But when I saw her head looking down and she wasn't waking up and they said she had passed, man, I was like, it was real. There's a lot of stakes in this film and a lot of death. Now, let's talk about Letitia Wright playing Shuri, of course. Really, this film had her grow up quickly. In the previous films that she was in Wakanda Forever, Infinity War, and then she really didn't have too much of a presence in Endgame. But in Infinity War and Black Panther Wakanda Forever, we got to see, just her being a smart kid. But in this one, you really felt her just growing up as a woman. Obviously, losing T'Challa and then previously losing T'Chaka in Civil War. And then losing her mom in Wakanda Forever. It really grew her up. And she knew that she had to, step up in different ways. Seeing her create, a new Herb to be the new Black Panther, that was amazing to see. And then just all the things when she was in the ancestral plane, hey, that was amazing too. Something that caught me off guard, which was rumored, but really no one knew. Seeing Michael B. Jordan back as, Killmonger, and that's who she saw in the ancestral plane, so that really took her off guard. He was basically talking about how she has to, make that decision to kill. She's saying that, T'Challa was too noble and stuff like that. But hey, it was really cool seeing, Michael B. Jordan back as Killmonger, even if it was in the ancestral plane. So there could be future things for him, maybe even in the multiverse, because this is a multiverse saga, and we saw him, an animated version of him in Marvel Studios What If last year. So hey, the possibilities are endless. But it was cool seeing Michael B. Jordan back and talking about Letitia Wright Shuri some more. You just get to see her really go through so much grief. I think you can talk about MCU Phase 4 being like a grief saga, not a grief saga, but a grief phase. That's what I should say, because it's the multiverse saga. But a lot of grief happened. Of course, WandaVision, Spider-Man No Way Home, Loki, Black Panther Wakanda Forever. It's total grief because they're dealing with unforeseen circumstances, having Chadwick Boseman pass away. But yeah, definitely a lot of grief is what Shuri faced, and she just had to grow up fast. And you got to see more of her intelligence on display. She kind of wanted to bury herself in her work, try to put the grief and pain away, but she had to go to it. And also seeing her meeting Dominique Thorne, who plays Riri Williams, who was Ironheart, that was awesome. Like I said, Riri Williams, she was a great part of this movie. Just seeing her take, on making her version of dark tech like it is in the comics, being an intelligent mind, being at MIT. The scene where she took that Zelle money from that one dude, $800, helping him get a great grade on it, just shows her intelligence on display. And the suit that they made for her in Wakanda was great. Even the practical suit that she made, her Mark 1 suit, it looked dope as well. So hey, I'm looking forward to seeing Ironheart. A lot of things are rumored for her series as well. Mephisto is supposed to be in there, like for real, not that WandaVision rumor stuff. So that's gonna be good. But yeah, Ironheart, I mean, she was great in this as well. So just seeing her and Shuri together, that was amazing. I love that. But also we have to talk about the antagonist of the film, and in my opinion, not a villain. I mean, you can argue that he was the villain of this film, but Namor, he's an anti-hero, so we're gonna see him back, and let's talk about him. Man, Namor, he was great in my opinion. Director Ryan Coogler, director of Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and of course the first Black Panther, he said that Namor can be as strong as Thor and the Hulk underwater, and that is actually accurate. Some people who don't know about Namor are gonna be like, oh no, you're boosting, you're capping, but nah, for real, like Namor is literally so powerful. That one scene where M'Baku tried to catch him off guard backwards, and then Namor hit him with a mean hook. Not a hook, but like a jab. Oh my gosh, that was so tough. Like Namor, he's just a great antagonist in this film, and I can't wait to see more of him. Of course, different iterations of his character are a part of the Illuminati, like we saw in Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse of Madness, even though that was a multiverse version. But we'll just see. I know we're going to see him in a future project. I think they're going to make a individual project for him, whether it's a special presentation, a series, or even a spin-off movie. I could see probably a series or a special presentation, but we'll see. But I just can't wait to see more of Namor and how he actually ends up, becoming an anti-hero, the hero side a little bit of it. We know that at the end of the film, Shuri could have killed him, but she ended up, thinking about her past, her mom, her dad, and just knowing that she's better than killing. So she sacrificed, those things. And I think it's going to look like Wakanda and Talokan could end up being allies going forward. We'll see what happens there. But man, Namor, I mean, he was just so great. Namor, when he was explaining his backstory in the film as well, he even addressed himself as being a mutant. So it's going to be interesting to see where more mutants pop up. We know that in Miss Marvel, she was basically confirmed to be a mutant. So man, the possibilities are endless. We know that even though it's an animated version, the Marvel Studios X-Men 97 is coming back. So we could see that end up being connected in different ways. Just everything going into Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. I'm interested to see how everything unfolds and connects, because that's going to be great. But I'm looking forward to see more of Namor. In my opinion, he clears Aquaman in terms of just as a character. I mean, I might get backlash for saying that, but I really don't care. But now Namor, he's dope. Even seeing Talokan, its city underwater was beautiful when he was showing Shuri and just telling her about his backstory. It was amazing to see that. And also his name, they did a great job showing, of course, representation of Mayan and Aztec culture. But even talking about his name, they said Namor, like the dude when he was attacking them on his home grounds when he was burying his mom. And some people were using the Talakinian people, or where he was from, the Mayan people, as slaves. They said like Namor is like no more, like no love or something like that. So he tied that in, saying that that's why his name is Namor, no love. So no love for this world. But man, Namor, he was a great antagonist to this film. I'm not calling him a villain because he is an anti-hero, but he arguably was my favorite part of this movie. Now we're going to talk about, some side characters, but who have, potential going forward. Now, obviously, we saw Everett Ross in the film. We saw him in Wakanda Forever and Civil War as well. But we also saw Val, she's the head of the government. Val, she was Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. I know it's kind of tricky to say her name. She's also known as Miss Hydra in different iterations in the comics. Val first appeared in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then she appeared in Black Widow in the post-credit scene. It was supposed to be the other way around. It was supposed to be Black Widow first, and then she was going to appear in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But, obviously COVID changed things around with the Marvel release schedule. But anyways, Val, she was also in Wakanda Forever and seen in a government role, a head of position. So we know that she's going to connect to the Thunderbolts. She's going to be in the film at at San Diego Comic-Con. I believe that's when it was. She was announced to be in the Thunderbolts film. So that's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds and connects. But just seeing Val in this, I mean, there's a lot of stakes, and you just get to see, more of that Marvel continuity into place. Of course, we have to talk about characters like Nakia, like Okoye, like M'Baku, just seeing him on screen, it always delights me. I love just seeing how he is, like his swag and how menacing he is, but how funny he is at the same time. When he be doing those Jabari Warrior chants, I just always laugh when I watch Black Panther, and just seeing that even more, there was more of that. It's just so funny. He even had a sequence when he was pounding his chest after slamming one of the Talokan warriors, so that was hilarious to me. And then seeing Okoye, just being one of the best, in my opinion, warriors in the MCU. She's just so menacing as well, and she knows what to do with her blade in Wakanda whenever she's fighting. So I just love that about her. And also Nakia. Hey, Nakia, we need to talk about her. Nakia for sure. So in the movie, when Shuri gets kidnapped by, Namor and Tala Khan, basically Angela Bassett's Queen Ramonda, she reaches out to Nakia. And Nakia is actually in Haiti, but we get to learn about, some of the things that happened to her after T'Challa was snapped in Infinity War. She ended up moving to Haiti. Just spending some time there. And then also when T'Challa died, she didn't go to the funeral, but we also learned in the post-credit scene, which we can talk about right now, the mid-credit scene, because there's not a post-credit scene, there's just one. There's a mid-credit scene, of course. We get to see that Nakia and T'Challa actually had a son, and the son ended up being moved to Haiti with her, because T'Challa didn't want that pressure of him being, the future king, having to have all those expectations and stuff like that. But that's crazy. And then we also found out that his name is also T'Challa too, named after his dad. So there's a lot of implications for that, man. I can't wait to hear about that, bro. Like, to see where the future goes for that. I don't know if he's gonna have a big role going into Wakanda. I mean, not Wakanda Forever, into Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, because he just looks like he's 5 years old, unless they want to do a time jump. But how is that gonna work? So I don't know, but just knowing that there's another potential for a future T'Challa as well, and then just seeing Shuri, have the Black Panther mantle as well right now, because she did a good job too as well. There's just a lot of future implications. I'm really excited for that, because man, T'Challa lives even more, man. I know for sure Chadwick would have loved this movie, man, and how they're dedicated to it. I know he's watching above from heaven, man. It's just sad. I wish he could have been in this, but it was also a good film, man. They did the best what they could. Now, this film obviously isn't perfect. If I have to compare, Black Panther 1 and Black Panther Wakanda Forever, I think Black Panther 1, narrowly edges it out, but just narrowly, because Wakanda Forever is really good. I'm telling you, some people might say the first Black Panther is way better, but hey, this film is really beautiful, really great. The characters, they're developed really well. The only things people, have been able to, talk about potentially in a negative light is saying the movie time, but I felt like the movie went by fast, in my opinion. The movie is 2 hours and 41 minutes, but I feel like every second was needed. Some people have said, oh, you could have cut some things out, but the story was well serviced, and you need to know, the different backstories and things that happen, all the different plot points. It just made sense to me. So in my opinion, that's not what it was. There was maybe like a few CGI sequences that seem a little wonky, but when you're making a big budget film like this, and we're talking about superheroes in live action, it's going to be some of that. It was better than the CGI in the first Black Panther, because the final battle between Killmonger and T'Challa, that was very wonky. Like, you could see like some of the CGI in it, like, for sure was pre-rendered, like it wasn't there all the way, but it was still really good in my opinion. If I have to rank Wakanda Forever to other films like Spider-Man No Way Home and Phase 4 and Doctor Strange, I think I'll put it second after Spider-Man No Way Home. Like, for real, this movie really answers a lot of questions that people had going into how they're going to do the film, and the status of Black Panther and everything like that after T'Challa's passing, and of course Chadwick's passing. But I think it really serves the fans well, and I'm looking forward to the future of Black Panther in the MCU, and just seeing where this will help the MCU push forward, seeing vibranium in different places. We know that Doctor Doom is going to come potentially in the future, and we know that a huge part of his character arc is being included with vibranium. And man, I'm just looking forward to that. Obviously, he wasn't in the post-credit scene. I made a video on that, and that's okay, because he didn't need to be. He will show up in the future. We already know that. But like I said, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, I think it's the second best film of MCU Phase 4 after No Way Home. And man, it was really good. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of the movie. If it's one of your favorites of Phase 4 so far, if you think it's better than the first Black Panther, and just what you thought of the movie in general. Just share with me in the comments down below, and I want to talk with y'all, so let me know for sure. But like always, I appreciate y'all watching. Always make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at SwaggyRuss, and also on TikTok at SwaggyRuss02. Continue to be blessed, guys. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. Just stay tuned for more videos, more content. I love y'all truly. Y'all be blessed. Know that you can accomplish anything. And yeah, thank y'all.